Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing really well today. So today's video I am really excited to do because I'm going to be doing yet another tag. I know you guys are probably really sick of me doing tag videos, but I think they're really fun and I really love to just kind of like tag along and really just promote YouTubers' creativity, and I just have a lot of fun with them anyways, and I think you guys seem to like them, so we're going to go ahead and do one today. So today we're going to be doing the 21 questions like makeup edition tag. This was started and created by Allie Glines, and she's actually created quite a bit of tags recently, and I've really been enjoying them. So let's go ahead and get into it. I will say that I will have Allie's video down below so that you can go ahead and check it out if you are interested. So the first question, number one, what is the oldest makeup product in your collection? And at first I thought it was going to be my ColourPop Give It To Me Straight palette, but it actually isn't. It is going to be my MAC lipstick in the shade Diva. And this is just a darker like red color. Really beautiful. One of my favorite lipsticks ever, but also one of my favorite MAC lipsticks as well. This lipstick just brings back so many memories. This was actually the lipstick that I pretty much wore all the time when I went out with my friends back in college. And it's kind of crazy because back then, whenever I was like in high school and stuff, I don't have that makeup anymore. So I was kind of shocked that this is the oldest that I have because I don't even think it's that old. It still has the MAC like vanilla scent as far as like the lipsticks goes. It is kind of fading away, but I still wear this, and every time I wear it, I tend to get quite a bit of compliments. So I just really love this one, and I feel like it really is pretty flattering on a lot of people. So this is definitely the oldest product in my collection. So question number two is, what is your most recent makeup purchase? So I am currently on a low buy. I am not buying makeup until probably April. And so right now I'm just really enjoying my collection, shopping my stash. And the last makeup products that I purchased, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while, is this Rare Beauty concealer. And I did recently say in my January favorites video that I am not really loving this, and I'm honestly thinking about returning it because I'm still in that window to possibly get my money back. And I've tried this many times and in various ways, and I just don't really care for it. The shade is kind of crazy, and I feel like there's not a lot of neutral undertones within the line, and I feel like that's what works best for me. And also the formula is just not something that I like. So this is my most recent purchase, but I will most likely see myself returning this one. So number three is, what is the first makeup product you ever used? So I have to say with this one, it's really tough and it's really hard to pinpoint. I was using makeup in middle school, I believe, but I really didn't start getting into it until high school. I have to say that as far as I can remember, the first makeup product I ever used was probably, it's really hard to pinpoint. I feel like I'm gonna say that it was like, as far as not an actual product, as far as like an actual line of makeup, I probably just wore like mascara. I remember in in middle school, I didn't really wear a lot of makeup, but I did see myself like wearing mascara, and I feel like I did wear mascara in middle school. I don't think I wore foundation yet. I want to say that I probably just wore mascara and then probably like a lipstick or lip gloss or something. I never was really allowed to wear makeup that much. And so probably mascara. I can't give you a certain one. I know a lot of people like have the exact name and everything, but I just don't remember. So I want to say that it was probably mascara, but as far as like one that I remember, it's probably the Naked palettes from Urban Decay, probably like the original Naked palette. That's definitely a product that I remember being one of my first things that I bought. So maybe that. Number four, what is a makeup trend that you used to love but now you hate? I really kind of like to say just dislike. I feel like I don't really hate anything, but a makeup trend that I used to love but now I don't like. Okay. Probably all matte. I am not super into an all matte look. I do enjoy still like full coverage. I definitely have my preferences each day. I feel like every day when I do my makeup, I kind of go for something differently. I'm very driven on like how I feel that day. If I want to go for like a just all neutral look, I'll do it. You know, if I kind of want to do, dip into like my pinks and purples, I'll do it. But for the most part, I don't really ever want to be all matte. Like, I just don't really ever see that happening anymore. And I will say that it's probably because my skin is also just different. I don't necessarily have dry skin now, but my skin is just leaning a little bit more towards like combination to like normal. So some days it's more normal, some days it's more combo because I do, still get like oily. But I don't think I ever just want completely matte skin. So that's something that I did definitely like back then, and now I just don't care for. So number five is, what is a makeup trend that you used to, dislike, hate, but now I love? So this is probably, let's see. I would probably say highlight. I know that that's been a trend for a while now, and I feel like now it's almost like highlighters going back to like the way it was before, that not a lot of people highlight, but I still really love highlighting. I love wearing highlighter. It's one of my favorite steps when it comes to makeup. And so I feel like now I really like it. I know before I purchased highlighter, I used to think like, what's the point? Like, I have oily skin. Why do I want to bring in more highlight onto my skin? But I really like it. And I have to say, and I'm not saying this to like sound boastful or anything, but I feel like I'm really good at like not following into the hype and not falling into a trend. I feel like I'm very good at like setting the tone for my makeup style and my makeup preferences, that I never really fall into stuff. Of course, I fall into stuff when it comes to like buying new products, but as far as like trends and how I do my makeup, I'm pretty consistent because I know what looks good on me and I know what I don't like and what I do like. And so that's something that, I didn't think I liked back then because, again, I had oily skin and I didn't really want to just add more glow to my face. Number 6, what is your favorite step in your makeup routine? My favorite step, so at first I thought eyeshadow, and as much as I love doing my eyeshadow, I feel like my favorite step is just foundation. I have an overall pretty uneven skin tone because I do have some redness. So I really love to see just kind of like that transformation. I love seeing the foundation just basically like make my skin a little bit more even. I know that that sounds like bad, but I'm happy with my skin. I embrace it. I leave the house without makeup all the time, and I stay at home all the time and not wear makeup. But I guess whenever I put on makeup, like, I love to have like an overall pretty perfected base for the most part. Of course, I still let my skin peek through, but I just like seeing how the makeup all comes together, and I feel like with a good base, everything does look really good. So that's probably my favorite part, because also eyeshadow takes a really long time, at least for me. And so I like that foundation is overall pretty quick, but it makes such a huge difference once you do that step. What is a makeup product you can't live without? So this would probably be foundation for me, whether it's a tinted moisturizer or a foundation, either or, just a coverage product, just because, like I said, I do have pretty uneven skin. And while I love mascara, while I love, eyeshadow, things like that, I just feel like I would love to have something, even if it was just to correct my skin. Just because, like I said, my skin is pretty uneven. And so every now and then I really like to go in with something just to kind of combat that. So that's probably something that I would love to have regardless. Next question, number 8, what sparked your love for makeup? This is kind of a tough one for me. I don't really have a whole lot of makeup memories. I know that a lot of people have such great stories, and I feel bad because I feel like, man, like, do I even love makeup? Or like, I don't think there's something that sparked my love for makeup, but I think I'm gonna say that it's probably just YouTube. I feel like by the time I was like in middle school, high school, YouTube just started becoming this thing that people watched, and I was super into it. I remember watching Jaclyn Hill and like just thinking how beautiful she was and just how beautiful her eye looks came about. And I was super into it. I really loved seeing just what people could do with makeup and how, you know, I also remember, is it Annie Jaffrey, I think? I remember loving her because again, I thought she was so beautiful and I thought her makeup looks were so fun and inspiring. And that's pretty much what sparked it. It's really just YouTube. And I remember in high school, I had a really, really great friend who me and her would just basically always do our makeup together. We'd always talk about makeup. We'd watch YouTube videos together. And I remember like one year she bought me the Naked 3 palette and one year I bought her the Naked 2 palette, and it was just so much fun. And we were just in high school, you know? So I feel like it's all of that combined, but probably mainly YouTube. Number 9, what is the worst makeup look you've ever done? Okay, so as far as a makeup look that I do not like I said, I'm pretty consistent with my makeup and how I do my makeup. Going back to like the trends, I feel like I'm pretty good at not just like following trends. I feel like I'm pretty good at knowing what works for me and what doesn't. And there is this one photo though that I have, and I was looking through my photos, that my eyebrows just looked really bad. I feel like they're super blocky and they just did not turn out very well. And that's probably what I'm just going to use for this answer, because like I said, there's nothing as far as like makeup looks that I just think looked awful or like I was embarrassed. This is just, I just thought my eyebrows were too big. So I'm just gonna post a picture on the screen. I just think I did my eyebrows way too thick, and yeah, I definitely like them a little bit thinner. So yeah, that's gonna be what I put for that one. Okay, so number 10, what is your favorite makeup look you've ever done? So my favorite makeup look that I've ever done is probably going to be from a YouTube video that I posted. I'll try to like put it on the screen if I can. I'll figure out how I do it, but anyways, I just really like the way my makeup looks. I don't know what it is. Don't mind my hair in the video, but, or in the photo, whatever. But I just really like it. I really like the way that I like my eye makeup looks. I feel like I definitely used my Natasha Denona Biba palette. I remember that day for sure. I actually went to a job interview that day, and so I remember like exactly what I wore. And I just really like it. I think I did a mixture of like warm and cool tones, and I just really liked the way that my makeup, you know, turned out for that one. So that's probably my favorite makeup look, because it honestly kind of like sparked one of my favorite looks ever that I do, and it's using the Natasha Denona Biba palette. So number 11, what is your favorite drugstore makeup product? Oh my gosh, this is so hard. Oh, my favorite drugstore makeup product is definitely my BH Cosmetics Blushing and Bali palette. I just absolutely love this. I've talked about this to death on my channel. It's just one of my favorites. To this day, I just really, really enjoy it. And I was thinking about like different foundations or concealers or things like that, but honestly, I love this so much. I'd have to say that the runner-up is probably the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, because I absolutely love that product, but I just love this so much, and it has my heart, I feel like, forever. So there's that. But I love a lot of drugstore makeup. I really do. And if you guys would like more of like my favorite drugstore products in a video, definitely let me know. So number 12, what is your favorite splurge makeup product? This is probably going to be just eyeshadow palettes in general. If I'm being very specific, probably Natasha Denona. You guys know how much I love that, you know, that brand and her eyeshadow palettes. So those are probably my favorite splurges, and those are definitely a splurge. I've really been enjoying her $65 palettes. You guys know how much I love the Biba palette, so really do enjoy that, and I definitely see that as being like a splurge that I just overall enjoy. Number 13, what is your most repurchased makeup product? So it used to be mascara, and I feel like if I didn't have as many mascaras as I have, it would probably be mascaras, but also probably like brow pencils. But again, I feel like I'm never really like repurchasing things because I run out. I have so much makeup that it's kind of like to the point where like I don't need to buy something like a replacement because I already have backups. Not necessarily of that same product, but I have multiple concealers I can choose from, multiple mascaras I can pull from. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really have a most repurchase, but I guess if I didn't have backups in that category, it would probably be mascara or brow pencils for sure. Number 14, what is your earliest makeup memory? So I actually don't remember this, but, and I know it's kind of like cheating, but I have heard this story so many times. And if my sister is watching, she knows what I'm talking about. Basically, supposedly, we were at my grandparents' house, which is where we went for a lot of like family events and family things. We always went to my grandparents' house. And supposedly I got into somebody's makeup. I don't know if it was my grandma's or what, or my granny's. And like, basically I pulled out like a red lipstick and I just like put it all over. And I looked in the mirror, I'm sure, because I was by myself, right? And I looked in the mirror, I'm sure, and I probably freaked myself out. So I ran to my sister and she was probably with my cousin or something. And like, I just yelled like, take it off. Like, because I was like freaking out because like you never have seen yourself like that before. And they were just laughing. So as much as I don't remember that story, I know that that happened and I could not have been any older than like 6. So that is definitely a makeup memory that I may not remember, but I know happened. 15, what is your favorite place to shop for makeup? So it has been Ulta, and I really do think that that's probably still my answer. They just carry so many different brands. But as far as like, you know, when I'm there, I love to look at the makeup section. It's probably like Walmart or Target. I love that Target is usually very up to date with their makeup releases, but I love Walmart because they're usually the most affordable when it comes to drugstore makeup. Ulta has kind of gone downhill for me just because of the service. I feel like the service isn't very good when you're in store at Ulta. It usually always is for online orders, but I just feel like when I go in person, I never really get assisted. I never really get asked, you know, if I need anything or if I have questions. And I've also brought home products that I paid for that were like swatched. So it is what it is, but I really do enjoy like drugstore makeup, especially going to Target or to Walmart. Number 16, what is the most underrated makeup product you own? So the most underrated makeup product that I own, and it's crazy because honestly, if it wasn't for Ipsy, I wouldn't be able to say this, but I really, really love this concealer. This is from Yensa. This is the Skin on Skin BC Full Coverage Concealer. I think this is so nice. This is probably a mini or a deluxe size sample that I got in an Ipsy, but this is really good. It's such a nice formula. It's really decent coverage. It blends out beautifully under the skin, and I am currently using this for my Partners in Cream project, and I've been enjoying it. I really do. I much prefer this than the like to the Milani concealer, and honestly, I feel like nobody talks about not only this brand, but definitely not the concealer. Like I know like Leah Janae talks about Yensa. I know that Lauren May, is it Lauren May Beauty? Yeah. She talks about Yensa. And a lot of people know Yensa because of like Ipsy and BoxyCharm and stuff. But this concealer is so good. It is so good. And like, I cannot sit here and not talk about this one because I truly think that it is very underrated and like nobody talks about it. So that is probably going to be my most underrated. Okay, so number 17, what is the most overrated makeup product I own? So most overrated makeup product in my collection. And I hate to say this because I know that I'm probably gonna hurt some people's feelings, and I'm so sorry in advance, but my answer is the Going Coconuts palette from ColourPop. And in case you've never seen it, which I highly doubt, this is what it looks like. And honestly, the formula is good. ColourPop has a really good eyeshadow palette formula. I will say, however, though, this shade is kind of piecey and it gets kind of all over the place in the palette, but this palette, like, there's nothing wrong with it. I just think it's a little bit overrated. I feel like this was in so many people's favorites videos and yearly favorites videos and everything like that. But I just never really reached for it. It's definitely not going to be something that I, you know, declutter or anything like that, because I do really enjoy the shades, but I just think so many people love it and I just never really reach for it. Like if I want a like neutral look, like I'm probably going to dip into like my Natasha Denona Biba palette, or even like the like Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop. I've really been enjoying that one. And so I just feel like I don't really reach for this that much, and I probably should, because again, the formula is good. But this is just overrated in my opinion. And honestly, also the packaging, like I can drop this and then all of the shades will like pop out, and I'll have to like rearrange them back in order, and I never know where they go. So I have to look at a photo, and it's just a whole thing. So yeah, hate the packaging, but also I just think it's a little bit overrated in my opinion. Okay, so question number 18. What is a discontinued makeup product you wish would come back? So basically, I don't know if these are discontinued. I'm pretty sure they are, because I've never, like I don't see them in the stores, but these are from Revlon. These are these might be my oldest in my collection. Either way, I'm showcasing them in this video. So these are the Revlon Color Burst Matte Balms, and they actually used to have like glossy balms or whatever, and I have two of them. I have them both in like red shades. So I have the shade 240 Striking and 250 Standout. This formula is so good. So they're just like a lip crayon. So I just like twist it up and it's just a lip crayon. This formula is so good. Like it does not budge. And they smelled like mint when I bought them. They still smell like mint. These are super old, but I just cannot part with them because the formula is that good. I'm telling you. I'm so sad that these just aren't available anymore. I would definitely pick these up again, especially like in a nude shade and that glossy formula. This is just so good, and they last so long on the lips. They fade gracefully, and I just miss them. And I wish that I could, I wish that you could go and get them, because again, I have them in these red shades and I just feel confident in the wear of these products. So definitely miss these for sure. So number 19, where do you go for makeup inspiration? This is definitely just YouTube. I just watch YouTube videos, and whenever I see someone do a look that I'm like, hey, that looks really pretty, then I will just recreate it. Sometimes IGTV, is that it? Instagram TV, yeah, IGTV, yeah, sometimes IGTV as well. I will say, like for instance, I think her name is like Danielle. I think she was under Beauty District for a while. I don't know if that's still her YouTube name, but she recently did a look and using like the Nabla Side by Side palette, and I tried to recreate it using my Biba palette, and she really inspired me. So sometimes it's IGTV, but most of the time it's YouTube, just watching people create looks. And I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. So that's definitely where I go. Number 20, what do you hope to see less of in makeup's future? So what I want to see less of in makeup's future, probably, you know, a lot of people have been saying what Allie said in her video, which is just all of the new releases, just always coming out with new releases. And while I agree with that, that's never going to happen. Like the only way it will is if there's no longer like money involved. Like everything is like, the beauty industry is like a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's quickly it's growing and growing and growing and growing, and everybody is seeing the success with this industry, that of course they're going to pump out new releases, because as long as there's a demand, it's going to keep coming and keep happening. I will say the releases have slowed down, but they've never stopped. I mean, I look at Trend Mood's Instagram, and usually every day there's something that she posts. So that means that there's still new releases coming every day. But I think honestly, what I want to see less of is just like crappy products. Like, I feel like in this day and age, in 2021, there should not be crappy products, like bad quality. There should not be just like tacky things anymore. Like, I feel like there's so many brands that come out with just like tacky products. ColourPop being one of them. I feel like they have really gone downhill in their quality and their like I've noticed a huge difference between like their older palettes, which I still have. I have 2 older palettes from them, and then like their palettes that what's a newer one that I have? Like probably the Stone Cold Fox one does perform really well. It does have tons of kick up though. But like even like the 9-pan palettes, like those are not sometimes the best quality. So I've just definitely seen them go downhill, and I feel like people like brands are just coming out with like really tacky things as well, and like not really classic pieces. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of going into my next question, number 21. What do you hope to see more of in Makeup's future? And I think Allie said like more quality over quantity. And again, I don't see that happening. And that's honestly, I don't know if I wish for that. Like, of course I want makeup to slow down, but at the same time, I love having all of these options when it comes to makeup. You know, especially options from different brands and things like that. But I think that is kind of the same thing that I want that she wants. It's just quality. I want more classic pieces. I want, rather than like going to makeup to make someone look good, to have makeup being created to like kind of just what it's supposed to be doing, which is to embrace beautiful features, right? And so like, why are we trying to get a desired look that we don't have? Like everybody wants the plumping lips, right? What if we just have something that that's just like our lips but better? Or do you know what I'm saying? Or for instance, everybody wants like that really like glass skin, dewy look. You know, why don't we come out with something that just suits everybody's skin types instead, and that will make their skin type actually like, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of complicated, but just more like quality, more classic pieces, not so much tacky pieces anymore, and just kind of going with like the human race and what makes us so beautiful and so special, rather than like what we're chasing after, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, but that is the end of my 21 questions. Wow, I have really had a hard time filming this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Thank you so much to Allie. I know she may or may not watch my video, but it is what it is. I'm very glad that she created this tag, and I'm so happy to have been a part of it and to be able to do the tag. So thank you guys so much for watching. Answer the questions down below if you want. I will include them in my description box. So if you are a YouTuber, feel free, you know, to do it. I tag you, or if you just want to answer them in the comments, I also encourage you to do that. But like this video if you did enjoy it, and I also hope that you will subscribe, and I will go ahead and see you in my next video. Bye.